welcome to worship today. My name is Andrea Irwin and I'm the online minister here at Highlands United Church. But this morning I'm actually not with you in worship. I'm on study leave this week. So my friend Madison, who's a congregation member here at Highlands, will be joining you in the chat box to host our live stream. Now, if you are wondering what I'm talking about every time I mention this chat box, if you are viewing us on live stream this morning, if you go to the right of your screen, you'll see a little chat bubble. And if you click that, you'll be able to see a stream of conversation between myself, Madison, and the rest of the congregation members who are with us online this morning. You can let us know who you are, where you're worshiping from, if we can hold you in prayer, if there's any feedback that you have, anything that you think is important for us to know. We love to get that conversation going. So that's to the right of your screen, and I'll pull up a screen right now and show you what that looks like, just so that you have a clear idea how you can join in. You do need to have an account with Livestream in order to participate in this conversation. It'll take you about 2 minutes to sign up. Your privacy is secure. We actually don't get any of that information. If this is something that challenges you, you can view us on YouTube as well. And to the right of the YouTube screen is also a chat bubble that we will be able to engage back and forth with. And that I don't believe you do need an account for. So feel free to check us out on either of those platforms. We look forward to seeing you in worship this morning, and I will see you right back here next Sunday morning.
Good morning, everyone, or those who have braved the weather anyways. Good to see you here, and welcome to Highlands United Church. And welcome to you if you are a newcomer, first time here, or an old-timer as well, or somewhere in between. I hope that this is a time when you can come together and sense that the Spirit of God is alive in your life and in our life together. And a special welcome to those who have gathered via live stream. There may be some who are used to coming here and being in here in person, but have joined us by live stream because of inclement weather. Welcome, and I hope that your worship service, as you join with us via the internet, is as full and as blessed as we have it here. I want to acknowledge that as we gather in this place on the North Shore, we are on the traditional lands of the Coast Salish people, the unceded territory of the Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We have in our creed that we are called to live with respect in creation. And so by acknowledging, we also want to say that we hold with deep respect the land and those who have cared for it as a sacred trust for millennia. The highlights that are on the website and that are available in print, I would just invite you to take a close look at them. The activities of the church are in full swing now in January, including, for the first time in January, Thursday dinners. Thursday dinners that serve between 5:30 and 6 every Thursday are starting up this week. So you're all welcome to come and share a meal together. And it's a great, convenient way for choir people to come and have a meal and then immediately go off to choir. So that's happening this week. Oh, I wanted to also mention that if you are a newcomer or a visitor, see if you can find one of these things. It gives you a bit of information about who we are at Highlands, but it also is an opportunity to tell us who you are. There's some information gathering inside, and if you would be comfortable with it, we'd love to hear who you are, and it's our way of being in contact with newcomers and visitors. Didn't quite make the cut for the highlights, but have you run across a campaign to help animals in Australia called Joey Pouches? Have you heard of this? It's been on social media. It's been on the news. Okay. Well, this from Andrea this week. Andrea is away preaching in another church this week, but she wrote to the worship committee. I had a conversation with my friend Alicia, who lives in Melbourne and serves a church there, whose mother is leaving Vancouver on January the 25th to go visit her, and she thought a huge number of animals who have been affected by the fires are marsupials, the ones with pouches. And while the parents have been dying, people are discovering babies in the pouches that are still alive. The challenge is they need pouches to survive. Enter the knit pouch call from the Wildlife Services of Australia. They have created a pattern so that people can knit pouches and rescue baby marsupials. Isn't that cool? So Alicia suggested that if we can knit pouches here and gather them by the 25th, that her mom can take them over with her. And it's a kind of a tangible way that we can support. So Sandy has photocopied patterns. They are on the action table. And if you want more information, just email sandy.parker@highlandsunited.org and get more information from her. Yes. The next thing. How many January birthdays do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that's a lot of cake for 6 people. I think they may need some help from the December and the February people. But it's birthday Sunday. Down in the fireside room, there is cake. So go have some cake and celebrate your birthday and find out who else has a birthday close to yours. There is gluten-free cake. There's also fruit. So even if the wheat is a problem, go down and enjoy some cake. Okay? The photo directory is in full swing. The pictures for the photo directory, they have pictures can be taken before church, after church, and before the Wednesday Seniors Connection. So please participate so that we can have a fulsome snapshot of who we are as a congregation at the beginning of 2020. I wanted also to mention this week, on Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we gather to celebrate the life of Fran Reed. Fran's been a part of our congregational life for a long, long time and died in December. I think it was December. The end of November. Yeah, near the end of November. So we come to celebrate her life Saturday, 2 o'clock. Sandy will be beginning a Bible study based on the scriptures that we read on Sunday. It's not starting this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, but we have heard that some folks are interested in Bible study. So if you want more information, talk to me or talk to Sandy, but not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And finally, you may notice that there are people walking around with nomination sheets for the leadership board. This is January, so we're moving towards an annual meeting in March, and that means we have some openings on our leadership board. Those that are in the nomination committee, can you just stand so people can see you? There's Julie, Simon, and up in the balcony. There we go. And so if you are interested in serving on the leadership board, or if you want more information and you want to tap someone else on the shoulder, talk to one of those people on the nominations committee. Right. I think that's our list of announcements. So let's take a moment now to take a deep breath, to center ourselves, know that God is present here, that God's blessing surrounds us here, and as we move further into our worship time, open to the presence of the Holy. Once there was someone who came to the Sea of Galilee. And he said some amazing things, and he did some wondrous things. And people began to follow him. He came close to the sick with healing. He encouraged the poor. He enjoyed the children, and he gave hope to people who were without hope. Over time, people began to wonder, who is this person? And he said amazing and puzzling things. And then he said this one thing, I am light. And they thought, oh. And they leaned forward, and they listened closely. And then he said, later on, he said a most amazing thing. He said, you are the light of the world. We call this the Christ light, or the Christ candle, and it reminds us of who Jesus is, but also who we are, and are called to be light of the world. And today, in keeping with the call to be light, the light of the world, I light a second candle from the Christ candle and sidle it up nice and close, in honor of all those and in remembering all those who have lost someone this week through the tragedy of the Ukrainian International Airlines disaster. There are vigils happening all across our country, candles lit, and we light them here and pray for light in their time of darkness. Will you join me in our gathering prayer? O God, we heard the prayer bell calling us to attention. We hear it ring and our senses wake up and we listen. What will you say to us today? How will your Spirit be present today? As we sing, as we pray, and as we listen with our ears and with our heart, help us to tune in to the wavelength of your love, your justice, and your wisdom in this time we share.
Lately I've been thinking about the things I see, how this troubled world is not
go wide. We can make a brand new day all over the world. People helping people and doing what they can. Nations living side by side with peace throughout the land. That's what I envision. It's not that far away. Anything is possible, so let's begin today.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Come on, everyone, we've got to get together. All over the world.
All over the world.
Find a way to make things better.
When we hold out our hands and draw the circle wide, we can make a brand new day.
All over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world. All over the world.
I would like to invite all the children to come on up to the front for a time with all God's children. Come gather round. Come on. It is nice to see you all here today on a beautiful slushy Sunday. So today, and now we are in a new season in the church calendar. It is the season of Epiphany, the season of light, where we watch and listen and tune in to this new frequency that has come to the world. And I thought, well, I think maybe we should play another game today. So we are going to play Name That Tune. So to see if we can all get on the same wavelength. Now, Will and I have been playing this back and forth with each other, trying to stump each other all week. I'm going to start by just humming a little thing for Will and see if he can get it. Okay, so this is for what did I do? Okay. Ready?
Ready?
Okay. Do, 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 do. All right? He's really good at this game. A little more? You need a little more?
A little more.
Yeah, okay.
I need more to get in tune with you. I'm not quite there yet.
Do, 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 do.
Do, 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 do.
Yes. What is it?
Sunshine.
There you go.
In my eyes.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
I'm with you now.
Okay,
I'm
so
with you
this is how this game goes. Okay, so I have another one. This is just a general one for everyone. Okay? And I only have to say two little things here, and it's not even really notes. I go, okay, you ready? Mana, mana. Mana, mana.
All right.
Mana, mana. Exactly, right? I don't even know what that's called. Mana, mana.
It's called
I
mana,
think,
mana.
right? Okay, good. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to do one.
I'm going to do one?
Yep.
Okay. Now, since it's the season of Epiphany, this is like, should be fresh in your mind. Da, 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 da.
You gotta give it a little more.
Da, 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 da. Da, da. Yeah, sing it. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I was a little shaky. Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay.
My wavelength wasn't quite right there, but
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, this one is for all of the children. Okay, we've been singing this one quite a bit. Okay, and it's very apropos for today. Okay. Okay, let me get it in my head. Do 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 do. Right? And if hot
There we are.
and
We're all
nose
in.
and was made up. Right,
Well done,
Frosty
well
the
done,
Snowman.
well done,
Okay,
well done, well
good.
done. You got
Oh, it's me. Okay,
spirit
okay. So
singers.
here, this is for the spirit singers, or if you've ever sung with the spirit singers. Okay, hold on, I gotta get it in my head. Okay. Do 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 do. Right? Do 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 do. Brothers and sisters. There you go. Exactly.
Well done.
So hold on a second. The Hollits, you can't.
Yeah, okay.
You
so
know, okay.
there has to be some exclusion zones,
Yeah.
and we're gonna just like
Yeah.
ask the Hollits, plug your ears.
Well, I got a
'cause-
specific one for the Hollits later.
Yeah,
but
we'll come back to
okay,
you.
Okay.
Okay, boomers. No, are we there yet?
No. Well,
Yes.
Yeah. You
Yes,
there?
we are.
Yep.
I got
Okay, put it in your head.
it. All right. Da da da. Da da da. Oh.
Oh.
Da da da. Da da. Ah, somebody's got it.
Someone's got it out there. Call it
Da,
out. What
da,
it
da.
is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Excellent.
All my troubles seem so far away.
There you go. Good.
Well.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
well, no. Janet, we should have had you come up
Yeah,
here, Janet.
yeah.
Okay.
There
okay.
nenes to be
All
other
right.
exclusion zones too, I
Yeah,
guess.
other exclusion
Yeah.
zones. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got one for the 8 if you grew up in the 80s. Okay. All right. I'm just going to give you a little bit because you're totally going to get it. Do.
There you go. There you go.
Do. Yes, beat it, Michael Jackson.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, I've got the next one. Okay, so this is for if you've done camps here before, okay? Okay? Right? Especially the ones that are on staff. You better get that. Okay. Do 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 do. They shall lay to walk in the da da da. Yes, River of Life. That's what it is. Okay.
All right.
Excellent. Okay, you're the next one.
Okay, we're reaching back, folks. So this is for folks who can reach back. La da da. There we go. 3 notes.
Beautiful.
Well done.
That was great.
Well done. Oh, Danny boy.
Okay, this
Beautiful.
one is specifically for the Hollett brothers. Is your other brother
Okay.
here?
This is a
There you are.
Hollett
Okay,
one.
this is a
Are we
Hollett
ready?
one. I'm giving you like one note. No, 2 notes. Okay. Okay, because you're totally gonna get this. Okay, I just gotta get it in my head. 2 notes. Do do. I'll do it again. Do do. Okay, I'll give you one more note from that. Okay, you've got it. You totally know what it is. Do do do. A little more.
Yeah,
You got it. Do 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 do. Right? Africa, Toto. There you go. You
Okay.
got it. Excellent. Okay.
All right. Okay, so speaking of exclusion zones, this is the Irwin Campfire Crowd. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
There you go.
There, that was unenthusiastic. Da, 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 da. There we go. There we are. We're all in the sync here.
There you
Beautiful,
go.
beautiful.
Okay. Last one.
Oh, this is a Geordie.
We had to come up.
Well, I don't know whether this is a hard one or not. La da da. Somebody's got it. Lisa Manel, you win.
Ode to Joy.
Da 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 da. We're all in sync again. Okay, so this is for vocal jazz teachers. If we have any. Da 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 da. There we are. That's that certain night, the night we met, there was magical bright in the air. Barclay Square. There we go. There we are. So there we are. We have the capacity of getting in tune with each other, don't we? Just all we need is a little. Always just a little, and we can get in tune with each other. Question is, can we get in tune with the music of the divine that's happening in a new way right now in the world, in this season? The light-filled, beautiful music that comes with the birth of Jesus and with the gospel of Jesus. That's our challenge for the Epiphany, is to listen like we've been listening, for those first notes, and see if we can get up to speed with and in tune with the divine. So tune your senses, everybody. Ears, eyes, hearts, the whole thing. God is alive in the world. When the wind
Today, our scripture reading comes from the Gospel of Matthew as we read the story of Jesus' baptism. Baptism was not a universal practice among the people of Jesus' day, but occasionally practiced as an act of commitment to a new way of life. So, when John the Baptist came along preaching that it was time for a great turning, it made sense that the baptism be the beginning for people. Commit to God's great turning, be baptized, and then be ready to help God clean up the world. In the lead up to this reading, John is out in the wilderness and people are coming to him, being inspired by him and being baptized by him. His cousin Jesus comes out to see what's going on. Today's reading is from Matthew 3, verses 13 to 17. Then Jesus came from Galilee to John at the Jordan to be baptized by him. John would have prevented him, saying, "I need to be baptized by you, and do you come to me?" But Jesus answered him, "Let it be so now, for it is proper for us in this way to fulfill all righteousness." Then he consented. And when Jesus had been baptized, just as he came up from the water, suddenly the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, the beloved, and with whom I am well pleased." Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Let's join together in prayer. O God of love and justice, peace, we want to be in tune with you, and we want our world to be in tune with your love and your justice and your. So we give you this time and give you the words of my mouth, meditations of our heart. We pray that through the work of your Spirit, you would set our hearts on fire and change our minds. Send us in. Amen. So here we are, the first Sunday after Epiphany, or the second Sunday of Epiphany, second Sunday of January, and just so soon after we have celebrated the birth of Jesus, just behind us, and in our gospel reading, he's 30 years old. They grow up so fast, don't they? You know? Huh. Jesus is headed down to the Jordan River, where his cousin is receiving people of all kinds, crowds of people who long for life to be different, for the world to be different. Long for a Messiah to come and turn things around. Long for a sense that their life matters, that it means something in a bigger sense. That they're more than just pawns in the hands of powerful people like Herod and Caesar. And so here is Jesus among the throng, normal as can be, just fitting in. But John hesitates to baptize him. This is no normal situation, but Jesus disagrees. No. John, baptize me like everybody else. This is the way to fulfill all righteousness, or to be in right relation. This is the right and proper way to proceed. Business as it ought to be. But then as he's coming out of the water, something particular is experienced. Matthew's gospel uniquely says, "And the heavens opened." All the gospels have some kind of, all the Matthew, Mark, and Luke all have some kind of story of this. Matthew says specifically, the heavens opened, and there was a voice. Spirit rested on him. There was a voice, "This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased." The beautiful story, full of kind of epiphany light and hope. With the blessing of his Maker so clearly resting upon him, what could possibly go wrong? This is the beginning of a story destined to have a happy ending, right? Well, no, actually. It is a light-filled beginning of a story destined to reveal God's essential character of love, but there are no guarantees of a happy ending or that this will be easy. Only that God will be in it, that God blesses it, and God will never let it go. And that's why we baptize. That's why baptism is our initiation rite, not because it offers us any guarantees of safety or an easy life or success in any kind. But we believe that no matter what happens, the steadfast love of God does rest upon us and upon the hurting world. And we are part of that. And that promise gives us hope and propels us into life. It's been kind of a shaky week. And as I sat down to begin the process of bringing thoughts of God and gospel together on Thursday, I confess that I had more thoughts of Iran and of our Persian neighbors than I had of Jesus and a baptism in the Jordan and a message of blessing that is said to have come on the wings of a dove. How do we speak of blessing and belovedness in a week like this? How do we put things together? How do we attest to what we hold to be true in the depths of our faith, that it is love, not fear, that is our beginning and our ending, and blessing, not curse, that rests upon God's beloved world, and generosity, not self-interest, that must motivate our lives? How do these essential convictions stand up under the battering wave upon wave of news attesting to the power of fear and violence that seems to be just so equally as woven into the fabric of things? We have just come through a season in which over and over again the message that we heard and that we proclaimed is that light is coming into the world, and that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness is not able to put it out. And this week, the darkness took a pretty strong swing. So, this week I started thinking about blessedness and belovedness. And instead, with all that has happened, I really want to talk about hope. Because I think that hope is what we need to lean into more than anything else in this particular season of Epiphany. I have this signed poster in my office. You might have seen it if you've darkened the door of my office. It's signed by John Green, the author John Green, and it's a quote that my daughter gave to me some years ago. "The world may be broken, but hope is not crazy." No, it is not crazy, and it is the thing that we hold on to more than anything else when the brokenness of the world and of our human predicament displays itself so graphically as it did this week. So hope. Do you remember Václav Havel? Václav Havel was a Czech writer and eventually and social activist and eventually politician. He was instrumental in the dismantling of communism in the 80s and was the first president of the Czech Republic. He a playwright and a brilliant man. He was imprisoned a fair bit during the 70s and 80s because of his writing and because of his speaking. Well, so he knows what it means to not be moving in the direction that you want things to be moving. Václav Havel has said, "Hope is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense regardless of how it turns out." Let me read that to you again, okay? It's important. Hope is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense regardless of how it turns out. So for Christians, hope is based not upon the results or the outcome, but rather the worthiness of the path, that the path makes sense. The rightness of it, the steadfast love of God in the midst of it. That's the hope. It is true that the world is broken, that there is a lot of brokenness. This week, that brokenness came close to us because members of the North Shore community died as a plane was shot down out of the sky. And it's an absolutely terrible thing and sad. This one has come close to us, but other terrible things happen in this flawed and struggling world. This one has come close. And yet, as the Spirit singers just sang, we are seekers of light and bearers of light. And it is tempting to let what happens to the world knock us off our search. But we must not let that happen. We cannot control what others will do. And there is so much in the world that we cannot prevent. But what we can do is insist that in whatever part of the world we do influence, we will declare the universal blessing of God, which rests upon every child of God. And we will light a candle for. We will do that. Not because it will create some incredible outcome, but because it's right. And even if events and disasters snuff it out, we will light it again and again. Not because it will once and for all banish the darkness, but because it's the right thing. We will not let the fear snuff out our compassion, even our own fear. We will not let the hate overwhelm our love. We will refuse despair, but instead choose hope, because the blessing of God does not ever let us go, but rests upon the broken world. There's a beautiful exchange in, I'm going to go back to John Green, a John Green novel that was turned into a movie called The Fault in Our Stars. How many saw the movie or read the book? Okay. There's your assignment. The Fault in Our Stars. You've read excellent. John Green is fantastic, and I would recommend the movie, but I would even more so recommend the book. Two main characters, 16-year-old Hazel and 17-year-old Augustus or Gus, both of whom have terminal cancer. And they meet in a mutual support group, and they become really, really, really close friends as they both face the deep questions that we face as we are nearing our own death. And it's not theoretical for them. The terrible truth is that these two young people will die soon. But their capacity to be real and honest in the midst of this broken situation is incredible, inspiring. So here they are in a conversation, kind of near the end of the book. Out of nowhere, Augustus asked, "Do you believe in an afterlife?" "I think forever is an incorrect concept," says Hazel. He smirked. "You're an incorrect concept." "I know. That's why I'm being taken out of the rotation." "That's not funny," says Augustus. Looking at the street, two girls passed by on a bike, one riding side saddle in the back, above the back wheel. "Come on," says Hazel. That was a joke. The thought of you being removed from the rotation is not funny to me. He said, "Seriously though, afterlife." "No," I said, and then revised. "Well, maybe I won't go so far as no." "You?" "Yes," he said, his voice full of confidence. "Yes, absolutely. I mean, not like a heaven where you ride unicorns, play harps, and live in mansions made of clouds. But yes, I believe in something with a capital S. Always have." "Really?" Hazel asked. I was surprised. I'd always associated belief in heaven with, frankly, a kind of intellectual disengagement. But Gus was not dumb. "Yeah," he said quietly, "I believe in that line from An Imperial Affliction," a book that they had been reading. "The risen sun too bright for her losing eye." That's God, I think. The rising sun, and the light is too bright, and her eyes are losing, but they aren't lost. I don't believe we return to haunt or comfort the living or anything, but I think something becomes of us. What I love about that exchange is that the promise of something with a capital S is not prescriptive or even concrete, but is there. The sun too bright for her losing eyes. If we are human, we know what it is to have losing eyes. We know what it is to have limited power. And yet, there is a sun rising that is brighter than our losing eyes. When Jesus was baptized and when he came up out of the water, something with a capital S blessed him and blessed his life. He proceeded to live and work and teach and learn and laugh and be brokenhearted, and ultimately he died terribly and unjustly. But just as ultimately, something became of him. The sun was too bright even for his losing eyes. We can't prevent weeks like this one. We can try, but ultimately, that is beyond our power. But we can resist despair. We can resist retaliation. We can reach out in compassion. We can believe in heaven even as the lights go out. We can trust in the rising sun. And we can relight the candle again and again and again for as long as it takes. And I think, altogether, that's what active hope looks like. Amen. Can we just take a moment? So active hope, act of hope, are really what we're all about. We gather to be nourished in hope, and we scatter to be active in hope. That's what our vision statement says. We gather and then we scatter. And as our hope is replenished and we are inspired to go out in hope, we need to kind of nourish that center place where all of this can happen. And we need to be able to gather our resources so that hope can be active in the world. And that's why we gather an offering every week. Some folks choose to offer their resources to the mission and ministry of Highlands United Church and the United Church of Canada by par or in envelopes or in a variety of different ways. People also put their shoulders to the wheel and actively participate and give their time and their skills to this ministry. And so now we are going to do that. We're going to gather resources in the intention that hope be active in the world through the ministry of Highlands United. Offering will now be received. Let us join together in our prayer of dedication. O God, these are but tokens of the riches you have given us. Take with these our moments and our days, our skills and passions, our questions and our hopes. We dedicate these gifts and our lives in the name of Jesus. Amen. Let's join together in prayer. O God of grace and glory, light and life, we give you thanks for this day that you bless us, have blessed us with, and we give you thanks that in your eyes, the life that we live is precious. We give you thanks even for the snow and the rain and the cold, because it is part of such a beautiful, masterful cycle of life in which we live. Hear the gratitude and wonder that is in our hearts and minds. What an incredible life you have given us. And we gather up the bits and pieces of this life into prayer, trusting that the love at the heart of things cares about the bits and pieces. For some of us, we come here today in our poverty, in our emptiness. And we pray that you would reach into that poverty, O God, with the richness of your love and your blessing. Some of us come here grieving loss of jobs or family or relationships or dream. Reach into our mourning with the powerful comfort of your Spirit. Some of us are meek. We dare not feel valuable in case we might not be valued by others. Tender God, show us again just how much you value life, even our life. Some of us are hungry and thirsty for food or water or meaning, purpose. Fill our cup, O God. Fill this world with your justice and your kindness and your humility. Shape us, O God, by your light and your Spirit. And this week, today, hear our prayer for those who are grieving and shocked and disoriented and brokenhearted by loss. Guide us as we seek a loving, compassionate response. We seek to live in your ways of peace and justice and compassion. Be with all of our Persian friends and neighbors. Hear our prayer, O God, for the many ways in which this broken world needs light and life and justice and peace. And guide us that we might be a part of your great work of bearing that light. So we gather up names and situations that are known to each of us. And we place them before you, trusting that your steadfast love endures forever, that your steadfast love reaches into even the small things. And so we bring to you Jean and Hugh, Maud, Bud, Marion and Grant, Fiona, Dawn and Margaret, Gabriel and Victoria, Sarah, Jeff and Alec, Joanne and Sandra, Andrew, Norm, Don Curry, Fred and Anne-Marie, Annalisa, Ralphie, James, Ron, Michael, Dave and Sheila, Althea, Joyce, Kayla, Bree and Claire, Charlotte, and the Mackenzie family. Ron, Michael, Dave and Sheila, Chris and family, Jan, Ryan and Lisa, Allison and Arnie, Kathy, Aunt Sarah, Howie and Hollis, Peter, April, Craig, Latoy, Sharon, Mark, PG, Christine and Kim, Valerie, Emma, James and family, Megan, Alan Bernice, Grant, Jesse and Amy, Amber, Nick and Josephine. And we hold before you, in the context of this community, the Artisana Collective in Guatemala, Andrea, Ingrid, Myra, Myrna, Sandra, and the Congress, the new Congress of Guatemala. It is quite a collection, O God, of heartfelt desire that we place before you and name before you. Hear also the heartfelt desires of our hearts, unspoken. And lead us in your way of active hope as we gather these prayers together into one, singing together the prayer that Jesus left for us in the church.
Amen.
need to send you out with a quote that was given to me this week. It's a quote by a parenting writer and social activist who I had not run into, L.R. Nost. And she writes, "Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you." The world waits for the light that is you. So go. And as we go, we lean into the blessing and the promise that gives us hope. May the peace of Christ attend us and the love of God surround us, and the Holy Spirit set our hearts on fire and set us free. Amen.
Good morning, Highlands Online, and welcome to worship today. My name is Andrea Irwin, and I'm the online minister here at Highlands United Church. But this morning, I'm actually not with you in worship. I'm on study leave this week. So my friend Madison, who's a congregation member here at Highlands, will be joining you in the chat box to host our live stream. Now, if you are wondering what I'm talking about every time I mention this chat box, if you are viewing us on live stream this morning, if you look to the right of your screen, you'll see a little chat bubble. And if you click that, you'll be able to see a string of conversation between myself or Madison and the rest of the congregation members who are with us online this morning. You can let us know who you are, where you're worshiping from, if we can hold you in prayer, if there's any feedback that you have, anything that you think is important for us to know. We love to get that conversation going. So that's to the right of your screen, and I'll pull up a screen right now and show you what that looks like, just so that you have a clear idea how you can join in. You do need to have an account with Livestream in order to participate in this conversation. It'll take you about 2 minutes to sign up. Your privacy is secure. We actually don't get any of that information. If this is something that challenges you, you can view us on YouTube as well, and to the right of the YouTube screen is also a chat bubble that we will be able to engage back and forth with, and that I don't believe you do need an account for. So feel free to check us out on either of those platforms. We look forward to seeing you in worship this morning, and I will see you right back here next Sunday morning.